All right, good evening. Welcome everyone to our 2021 State of the Agency. We are so excited to have you with us tonight. My name is Teresa Strunk and I am the current board chair for Big Brothers Big Sisters of Arizona. I first got involved with the agency many years ago as a big sister and as a member of the Young Professionals Council and was elected to the board in 2015. I hope that you have all had an opportunity to get settled in, pour yourself a glass of wine or preferred beverage. Tonight we will hear from our president and CEO, Laura Capello, who is here in the office with me today. But first, I want to introduce one of our current big brothers, Devin Del Palacio. Devin is the director of community outreach here at the agency, but was also matched with his own little brother, Prince, last year during the pandemic. Welcome, Devin.
Good evening, everyone. As Teresa said, Devin Del Palacio, the Director of Community Outreach for Big Brothers Big Sisters, but more importantly, I am a big brother. That's one of my favorite titles that I have the honor of holding, is being a big brother. And I sort of got involved. Well, this journey of mentorship for me is very personal. Growing up, I didn't have a lot of positive male role models, in my life, except for my uncle. I had one, and that was my uncle. And he was just amazing. Taught me so many things about just being kind, being respectful to others, being a good human being. He also taught me an awful lot about 80s pop culture. So I appreciate him for all that he instilled in me. And unfortunately, he passed away early last year. Right as a pandemic got started, he passed away, and before his 50th birthday. And I said, what better way to honor his legacy for what he did for me and showing me the ropes on how to just be a good human being than to give back. And so that's exactly what I did. There's this old African proverb, each one teach one. And I truly believe in that. And, and so I did. So I got involved, filled out an application. And let me tell you, just because I work here doesn't mean I got any special treatment. We conduct a very thorough background check, had to still meet all the eligibility requirements. And I went through it, and I'm glad I did. It was seamless. It was awesome. I saw this as a way to also sort of be a part of a solution, right? We know that there's a lot of challenges that our community is experiencing as a result of this pandemic. But I also saw mentoring as a way to be a part of a solution to help uplift somebody else, right? And so that's what I did. I got involved, and I was blessed to be matched with the little man you see here on the screen. His name is Prince. Prince is 10 years old from the West Valley, and he is just amazing. He's amazing. I mean, he's charismatic. I mean, the kid's outgoing. We have a lot of fun together. I mean, he's just, it's been amazing. Now, you're probably wondering what it's like to be a big, right, or be a mentor during a pandemic. Well, as you can see, during our outings, we still follow the CDC guidelines. Look at us. We got our mask on, but we were still enjoying some bubble tea. And as you can see here, we also connect virtually. So I would say that we have a hybrid relationship. We meet a couple times virtually, but then every once in a while we meet when it's safe. We go hiking, we'll do an outdoor activity, and it's been amazing. Now I should also mention that Prince also wants to grow up to be a YouTube star, just like all the other kids, right? They want to be YouTube stars, they want to be online. So we're going to get ready to show you a video that he recorded in early September when we first got matched, or shortly after we got matched. And so this is just him completely speaking from the heart. That's who he is. No script, no nothing. And so let's take a moment and listen to Prince.
Hi, my name is Prince, and I am a part of the Big Brother and Big Sister community. Today I'm with my big brother Devin, and I'm going to be explaining why you should do this. It's in Arizona. It could be really close to you if you ever wanted a big brother or a big sister to look up as. So the Big Brother community is a community for you to interact with people who have the same things as you, people who like the things you like. Now, to start off, you will get to meet your big brother first at a local community where you guys can hang out and talk about the things you like. And then you can schedule a appointment or something you want to do with your big brother or big sister. and that will happen, but like it'll be on certain days and hours of that period of time. Now, if you really know your big brother and you like them very much, they can be in touch with you your whole life. And it's really important because I wanted someone to look up to, and now I had Devin, so it really helped me. It really helped me a lot. And if you want your big brother and big sister today, come on down. We do have open hours, and I suggest you get a big brother or a big sister today. Cut the camera.
Yeah. So, and if you notice in the chat or in the video, he mentioned that he, you could have a big brother for a lifetime, and I truly believe that. We're already coming up on a year, and there's no way I'm going to quit. We're gonna ride this thing out for as long as we can. So I believe we're going to move on to the next slide here. Okay, so what you're looking at here is a heat map of littles that we have that are on our wait list and littles that are ready to be matched. The green are little brothers. The purple represents little sisters. Now, Prince was once one of these little dots on a map. Prince was one of these green dots on the map. Before getting matched, he had been on the wait list for 2 years. 2 years he was on the wait list. His mom kept him on that wait list. And you could imagine what it's like to wait around for something, because all the children in our program, they actually want a mentor. We're not forcing them to be here. That's one of the requirements. Actually, you have to want a mentor. So I'm so thankful that his mom kept him, in our program on his list, because now we have this wonderful relationship, and I'm just excited to see where it goes. So, if you're like me and you want to get involved, if you want to be a part of the solution, then we certainly welcome you too. These are the simple steps. First, you just attend an online information session. After that, we'll send over an application. We'll begin the interview. We'll start doing our training. We'll get you matched. Now, the beauty is you can do this all from the comfort of your couch. You don't have to come in. We do this entirely virtual. So we do our interviews virtually, the trainings virtually. So we've really made it easy and accessible for folks to get involved. And by the way, if you're interested in having your employer or your social group, civic group, getting involved, if you want us to come out, we're happy to come out and conduct a virtual presentation for any of your groups. And on that note, I do want to give a shout out to my man Demario and Samaya from Mercy Care. They've been wonderful partners of ours, and I've actually gone out and spoken to their group several times about our program. So if this is something that you're interested in, please put a message in the chat and we can certainly coordinate that. Thank you all for having me.
Thank you, Devin, for sharing your story, and thank you to Prince as well. This event is being recorded tonight, so we can share it with Prince afterwards. So let's all wave and say, "Hi, Prince." Next up, I want to introduce you to our President and CEO, Laura Capello, who I am so excited to be with in the office this evening. Laura and I have not gotten to see each other nearly as much as we would have liked in the last year. So this is great to be together this evening. Laura has served with the agency from 1998 to 2005, and again from 2011 until present, and is a big sister herself. Can we all do a little virtual clap for Laura?
Oh, thank you, Teresa. It's good to be sitting next to you as well. 6 feet apart. 6 feet apart. And so great to have all of you guys join us tonight. I know many of you, I know a lot of you, most of you are already involved or been involved with our agency for a really long time. And so we wanted to obviously go over, some of the recruitment needs still, which are still probably the same. And also kind of give you an update of how things have been going this last year specifically. We all know 2020 was not the year we planned for. It was not just a bad year, it was brutal for, I'm sure, all of us. The world was overcome by a pandemic. In a matter of just a few short weeks, our country's dialogue was led by divisive leadership, and the Black Lives Matter movement brought to the surface the continued pervasiveness of racism in our communities and institutions. Locally, we were challenged by increased unemployment and homelessness, the closure of many beloved businesses, a lot of small businesses, and an education system ill-equipped to adjust to the remote learning environment. Was this hard for us? You bet it was. But it was so much harder on our youth. Yes, our youth. When I was frustrated, which I was a lot, and I was tired of staying in my house a lot, but I could still get in my car. I drove to an empty office, but weaseled my way into my office, and at least I felt like I can get out of the house. When I needed to work from home, I knew that I had a computer and I had access to the internet. And when I was emotionally drained, which was often, I had friends and family, including an amazing board that I could call at any time and they would talk to me and support me. These are things that many of our youth in our community don't have access to. They are facing extreme stressors, including increased anxiety, uncertainty around the health and safety of their families, and lack of access to regular schooling and social support networks. But here comes the good news. We all knew that we could help. That's what we do here. We just, pivot and we do what we can to help the kids in our community. Since July, we have provided 579 resources impacting 527 littles and their families. These include things like food or grocery gift cards, books, holiday gifts, literacy kits, parent trainings, and referrals to support services. We filled our Think Big website with virtual tours of museums and parks and connected our littles with GCU students for tutoring. Within 2 weeks of transitioning to a completely virtual workforce, we made our first new match. And since July, we have made 202 new matches. All in all, just halfway through our fiscal year, we have already served our 1,274 youth compared to the 397 in all of our last fiscal year. Despite their own personal challenges, our bigs have not stopped being important resources for their littles. They immediately reached out to their case managers to learn how they can support their littles. They continue to help build their littles' resiliency. They continue to talk to them through the phone, video games. They did hikes, outside activities, a lot of letter writing. And we even had a big sister do a virtual cooking class with her little. Some bigs even sent their littles boxes of crafts and things to their door, and then they did it virtually that way. It was just so awesome to see all the ways that they continue to support their littles. Have things been easy? Absolutely not. We had to transition our site to a virtual environment literally overnight. We had to renegotiate with funders and consistently change our programs and events to meet the challenges of the day. For instance, we're doing this tonight. First time we've ever done this, and I'm really proud that I haven't messed up yet. But we've just decided this is our new world, and we have to go with the flow. The impacts of 2020 are going to be felt for years to come, but our number one priority has always been to continue to ensure that we can keep all of our matches open and make new matches for those youth in need. You saw the wait list, you saw the dots. Those are all still kids looking for a big. The greatest challenge, probably no surprise to most of you, has been our funding. The needs of our community are greater than ever, and resources are more scarce, and many of our partners are also facing hardships and shortages. And a lot of our foundations and organizations that, always step up to fund are just really strapped with, trying to help as many people as they can. But we are taking steps today to ensure our sustainability for the future, including looking at an investment for our own building to reduce our overhead costs, and the growth of our endowment fund. We are also super excited that Big Brothers Big Sisters of America announced that they hired a new CEO that just started in January. I've had a chance to talk to him a couple of times already, and he is so excited, and we are all excited to have him. Artis Stevens, he served as Senior Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer of the National 4-H Council since 2014. And before that, he was with Big Boys and Girls Clubs of America. He led both those organizations with their brand positioning, alumni and marketing campaigns, digital transformation, and local engagement efforts. In a recent email to our agencies, all of our agencies across the country, Artis outlined these 3 priorities. With Artis at the national helm and our strong community of support here in Arizona, I truly believe that 2021 will be a better year. We are so grateful to each and every one of you for being so invested in our future and in the welfare of our community's children. I really appreciate all of you guys taking time out of your days or evening to be with us here tonight. Thanks.
Thank you, Laura, for that insight. As the board chair, I can confidently say that this has been a challenging year for our agency. But Laura, our board, our staff, and all of our supporters have been nimble and thoughtful to ensure the best outcomes for our matches. Now, I have one last video for you tonight from Little Brother Prince. The one we shared earlier was filmed back in September, and this one we are about to show was actually filmed just last week specifically for this event tonight. So here is Prince's message for our attendees tonight.
Hi, my name is Prince, and I'm here today to talk about me and my big brother, Devin. Devin has helped me with lots of things. He even helped me reveal my biggest secret, that I like a K-pop group called Blackpink. We've listened to their music for about a year now, and he's been really supportive. Like, he's taken me hiking. He's done way more things than a usual father or mother would do with their child on certain occasions. And like, when your parents is not there, your big brother can come over and take you to places you've never been. Like, that's what big brothers can do for you. So I don't know, because I'm speechless, because this is awesome. I get a big brother, and I've always wanted a big brother. And so, yeah. And all I'm saying is I want people to join our community to make it bigger and have more kids have more fun. Thank you.
Wow, totally unscripted. Can you believe that? We told Prince that we were doing this event and just asked him to put together a video with whatever he wanted to say. I think you can hear the excitement and enthusiasm in his voice when he talks about his big brother. And I'm sure Devin feels the same way about Prince. As you have now heard from both Devin, Prince, and Laura, our work has not slowed. In fact, the needs of our littles and their families are now greater than ever. It costs the agency, on average, $1,500 to cover the costs of a first-year match. This includes the recruitment, screening, and training of a quality volunteer, ongoing support of a highly trained staff member, and the resources for the little and their family that the agency provides. That is why today I am making a pledge to make a $1,500 gift to support the costs of a first year match. And I'm asking you to join me this evening. When you make a $1,500 gift to Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Arizona, you are not only committing to supporting a match for a full year, you are also joining our Magic Makers Society with all the associated benefits you see on the screen. If you would like to join me as a Magic Maker tonight, you can sign up by using the link now in the chat. or by visiting the website on the slide. One of the many great benefits of giving to Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Arizona is that we are a qualified charitable organization. That means that you can give up to $400 as an individual or $800 as a couple filing jointly and receive that back as an Arizona state tax credit. Another great way to support Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Arizona all year long is through our Mentor Circle monthly giving program. This allows you to spread your gift throughout the year, but still qualifies for the Arizona state tax credit. If you prefer to give in this way, you can still sign up on the same page. Just select monthly instead of a one-time gift at your desired monthly giving level.
Well, Teresa, thank you so much for your gift. And I see that we've already received a few other gifts. So thank you so much. As you can see, that is my little sister, Ramaya. And I know many of you have heard me talk about her. We were matched when she was in 4th grade, and she is a senior graduating this year and turning 18 in April. I'm so excited, and I will be in her life forever. I love her like a sister. It's because of our supporters like you and at this event tonight that we're able to offer our programs at no cost to our littles or their families. Many of you already know, but well, as I said, I've been a big sister with Ramaya, and I've definitely seen firsthand the impact that I hope I've had on her life, and I know the impact that she's had on my life. So very proud of her.
Thank you to everyone who has already made a gift this evening. We would now like to leave a few minutes here to field any questions you have for Laura, myself, or we also have various staff on the call who can answer questions as well. Feel free to take yourself off mute or put your questions in the chat box. We would love to hear from you. Don't be shy.
And don't make them hard.
First, thank you for sharing tonight. Really appreciate it. It's a great program. What's the number of brothers and sisters that you actually have on the waiting list within the organization at this time?
You know, that's a great question, and I love when I get to explain it because it's always been a really hard thing to talk about, like a blanket statement, because we serve all of Maricopa County, so that's like 5 million people, right? And we have kids. So, for instance, the bulk of our kids they're in the West Valley, South Phoenix, and we have had at one point, so you saw I've been here since 1998. We've always had a waiting list. At one point, it was in the almost 1,000, and it was like that's too much of a waiting list to try to manage, obviously. And some of those kids never got matched. So we try to keep our waiting littles to about 200 that are ready to be matched. So, but like I said, most of those, like in the East Valley right now, not a long waiting list. In Scottsdale, not a long waiting list. But if you go to West Phoenix, we probably have a waiting list of over 100. And in South Phoenix, so it really depends. So sometimes when we have a big come in and they're in Scottsdale, we don't have kids waiting, and they might tell us, well, I'll drive over to the West Valley, but we know that eventually that gets really hard to spend a half hour, 45 minutes driving to see your little. I live in Mesa right now. My little sister over the years ended up moving to Avondale. So that's a 45-minute drive. And while I see her, because we've been matched for a long time, it's definitely a lot more of a challenge for me to find a half a day to spend with her. So we really try to make matches based on where you live in the Valley. So I hope that answered your question, but we have up to 200 kids, sometimes more on a wait list. It just depends on the what part of the valley.
Okay.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Any others, Taylor?
Hello, everyone. This is Demario with Mercy Care. I know we met with Devin and Adrian and, really start to foster a relationship with your organization. I am over our volunteer council, and I know that eventually, hopefully, we can get some of our council members to participate as bigs. That's my ultimate goal. But we also want to be of service somehow during some volunteer opportunities. I know you have several fundraising opportunities throughout the year. If there's a way that we can partner with you all to help participate in maybe one of your car washes or something like that, we really don't have the funding to come out of pocket for, to help fund some of those things, but we can do it individually, get a group of us together and just help fund something that is going on throughout the year and participate as a volunteer to help with some of those efforts as well. So can you just highlight maybe some of your volunteer opportunities you may have throughout the year?
I didn't know. Yeah, of course. And thank you for all that you do. And the car wash you mentioned is the first thing that I thought of, because although we had our car wash virtual last year in October, hopefully it won't be next, and hopefully October will look a little different, who knows? But we always we need a lot of volunteers to help us with that. And what's really great about the car wash is that we can also highlight those that are helping, helping us make those events successful. And, we've had groups of people come out with their own logoed shirts on, and, we get a lot of media coverage for that. So we always like to highlight those groups. So that's the first thing that I thought of. Another way, and Jessica, if you want to chime in, but another way I thought of is have a clothing drive. We, as you know, partner with Savers thrift stores, and we collect clothes and small household items. And most of you, I think, on this call know those donations, we don't take them and then give them to the kids in our program. We actually take all those items, and then we have a partnership with Savers. So we sell those to Savers, and then Savers pays us for those goods. So we ended up making last year about $525,000 from the Savers partnership. So in essence, they do support the kids in our program, because that's our largest source of funding. So having a clothing drive has always been great, or, we can bring a truck out. You can do a one-day clothing drive. A lot of companies have done that for us. Some companies even sponsor a bin in their parking lots, which makes it, great for us, but sometimes makes it great for our partners, because it's an easy way for people just to bring in bags of items that we're wanting to get rid of and just drop it off when they go to work. So those are a couple of ways. I know Jessica and Adrian and Taylor all, they do events, probably have a lot more ideas that they can either put in the chat, or Jessica or Adrian can
I have
comment.
one thing that
Or
came
just
to
Teresa.
mind. Years and years ago, when I first was involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters, I started as a big sister in our community, our school-based match. So just for anyone that isn't aware, we have our community-based match, which you saw Devin and Prince, and they go out hiking or to the movies or play basketball together. The school-based matches are done one-on-one at the child's school. So every week, once a week, I would go to my little sister's elementary school, and we would have lunch together. And then after lunch, we would play outside, go to the library, play a game, read sometimes, and just spend that, hour or so together once a week. We did not see each other outside of school, but it was a great introduction into the program, and a really impactful. It was, I looked forward to that day, each Wednesday as being the day that I got to see my little sister, and it became a mutual excitement for both of us to spend that time together. So I know that that's something, right now that's a little bit on hold as schools are not allowing volunteers onto the campuses right now, but hopefully as things start to normalize and we move forward in the coming months and year, we'll be able to be in the schools again in a greater number. One other way is our Young Professional Council. I brought that up earlier. I was involved with that for a number of years before joining the governing board, and it's a great group of guys and gals in their 20s, 30s, 40s. There's no set age band on being young. It's all a state of mind. And it's a great support group also to the agency with some fundraising, some events, education in the community, and just an extension really of our governing board. So that would be something. I know that they just had a recruitment period just recently for some new members, but that's another way we could get you out some information to learn more about the YPC.
Absolutely. And Devin and Adrian did a really good job at highlighting some of these opportunities for participation as well. Do you have a clothing drive throughout the year? Is there a certain time of year you would prefer to do a clothing drive, or is it something that we should think about doing as a company and picking a time of year? Because I really like that aspect of it, because I know I have 2 closets full of clothes, things of that nature. And so I know that I have colleagues who wouldn't mind participating in this because it's free to them. They're just donating clothes that they were probably going to donate anyway. But we just need to coordinate that. And I don't want to monopolize your meeting, but
no, not at all.
And make it a big deal. I do have also our president, one of our co-chairs of our Black colleague resource group here, which is Eric, who spoke earlier. I would love to have our BCRG come together and do a big clothing drive, and to be able to fund that way, because we can't give actual money. We just can't do it. But there's a way, and I will make a way. So
I'll connect you with our donation manager, because clothing drives can happen anytime.
Mm-hmm.
So we can do whatever would be convenient for your staff, your employees. Do it a day, a month. We do clothing drives at our office, and we have competitions between teams, and it's quite fun. Although I don't like it that I didn't win last time, but
our organization is still pretty much a work from home at this time, and we will be clear through the summer. At least we know clear through the summer, and then when we go back, about 75% of us will be still work from home anyway.
Well, there's ways we all work. A lot of us still work from home too. So, why don't I'll just connect you with David Reynolds, absolutely. And then, the fun time. The only thing fun about this pandemic for me was that you could totally be innovative and just think completely outside the box. I mean, all rules are broken, right? So you just figure it out.
All right. Well, thank you for your time. Like I said, I don't want to. You have a whole meeting to, but I can't wait to get involved with this.
Well, thank you for everything you've already done.
All right, thank you.
Hey, Laura. Lindy here, voice from the past, historical.
Yeah.
First of all, thanks to you guys for doing this, and I really appreciate being invited to participate. And I'm just going to pick up on something you just said. Just that the pandemic and all of the challenges have forced all of us to kind of be creative and think outside the box and find ways to do things differently. And I have been involved off and on for a number of years, and the classic volunteers are in the East Valley and kids are in the West Valley. It's just always been a challenge for the organization. I know it's frustrating for you guys, but I wonder if we haven't learned some things from having to pivot and do part of the matches virtually now, if that couldn't help, we couldn't, look to a way to kind of minimize that challenge that you guys have always had.
Yeah.
and keeps you from, being able to do the matches as quickly as you'd like and that kind of thing. I'm just saying it might be an opportunity to step back and say, maybe we can kind of reinvent how that
Oh,
happens.
believe you me, yes. Yes, we talk about that all the time.
I'm
And
sure you
especially
do.
in this virtual world, we start thinking, well, traveling isn't maybe when traveling, isn't going to be the issue, and we can get people to even talk virtually.
Yeah.
But that actually hasn't been as popular as I thought it would, because people are zoomed out.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Kids are definitely zoomed out, but
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's the only way. So I appreciate that insight, and that's definitely something we're thinking about.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have any questions or comments this evening?
I do, Teresa. It's Jessica Whitney.
Hi, Jessica.
I'm Vice President of Development and Marketing. Just wanted to jump in here. It seems that there were some issues with the initial website. So Adrian's going to post it again in the chat. And then I think we'll also send it out via email. So if you did want to make a donation, either a one-time gift or a monthly pledge, of course, we would greatly appreciate it. Oh, and there's the link again. So thank you all.
Good. I'm glad they got that sorted out. Well, thank you all for the great questions, comments, and insight. If you'd like to learn more about our programs or how you can become a BIG, I encourage you to visit our website. The link is in the chat. And as Devin mentioned, we also have a team available to make virtual presentations to your office or social group if you are interested in sharing our mission with your community and network. Again, I want to thank you all for joining us this evening. We have an amazing community, and we are so grateful to have you as a part of it. If you'd like to stay on for a while and chat, say hello, you are more than welcome to. But otherwise, we hope that you have an amazing evening and hope to see you all soon. Thank you.
And I just want to say one last thing. As I talked about pivoting and doing new things, I really want to thank those behind the scene. TJ, who I told him he needed to make us look as good as possible, and Adrian and Taylor, they have really, the team, the staff have stepped up in such a big way to get us through this pandemic and to do all we can to continue to serve our kids and our families. So I wanted to give them a big shout out. And again, thank you guys all. I know many of you have been longtime supporters and former board members and bigs, and we can't thank you enough. So thank you.
Got a question if you have a moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with the NFL alumni, and what I'd like to do is get some kind of collateral from you folks so that we can put this on our agenda going forward to see if we have any of our members that may have the time and the opportunity to be a mentor. I know you're looking for men, for boys, or males.
Yeah. Did you say NFL alumni?
Yes.
Well, that's super exciting, and I'd love to talk to you because we've actually had a few former NFL players that have been on our board and been bigs, and we have a national partnership with the NFL, so would love to talk to you.
All right. What I love is some collateral for the
Okay.
sake that I can put it up on our website, Facebook, and again, just because it's awareness, a little bit of an education, put it on our docket for our agenda for the next couple of months. Even something could come of it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you so much.
Sure.
That would be great. Thank you. Do you want to play some music, DJ? She host. Thank you.